How many times has it happened that you looked at a success story and wished to follow in their steps? A successful entrepreneur, sportsperson, actor, or musician. Let's look at Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, both of whom had an idea, dropped out of college, worked on it, and became successful. You too must be having a superb idea. Should you also drop out of college to spend time working on your idea? By equating their success to hard work alone, we ignore a very important fact. For every successful college dropout, there are hundreds, if not thousands, who weren't as lucky. The founders we put on pedestals worked hard, but many detailed events paved their way to success. Research shows the majority of the United States' most successful business people graduated college, 94% to be exact. Assuming a college degree isn't necessary to be successful is an example of survivorship bias. Survivorship bias is a cognitive fallacy in which, when looking at a given group, you focus only on examples of successful individuals rather than the group as a whole. There are other examples of it as well, like people complaining nowadays music isn't as good as it used to be. However, this is not fair as we compare new songs with the best creations of the past that turned into classics. Songs so good that they survived through the decades. Not a fair comparison as we do not remember all the bad songs from history because they were terrible. So what are the implications of the bias? Number 1, it encourages overly optimistic thinking. Looking at only the successful subset of a particular situation encourages you to believe in a skewed reality in which circumstances are easier or more likely to work out than they actually are. This can cause you to take unnecessarily large risks in your life, whether financially or personally. Number 2, leaves out important voices. By limiting its view to only the positive results in a situation, survivorship bias leaves out the vital voices of those who have struggled to succeed. Number 3, suggests causation from correlation. If you look at all of the success stories, you might start to notice patterns that offer a false sense of causation. For instance, if you look at several of the most successful startups or billionaires in business, you might think the formula to becoming a high-power CEO begins with being a college dropout. This viewpoint fails to consider all the individuals who dropped out and weren't successful. We think it's important to be aware of how our brains can lead us to make decisions based on incomplete information and make sure that we don't let these biases affect our lives in detrimental ways. So the best way to address survivorship bias is by asking yourself actively what's missing. When looking at a given data set, consider any other possible data points that were on the same path as the successful data points, but might not be present in the final data.